Eileen, I'm trying to see the chat as usual. Okay, I'm going to wait until other people will join in. Hi, Leanne. I'm fine, Lynn. Okay. Hi, Robin. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. I'm still standing or sitting for that matter right now. Still here. So, as if you saw the notice about the live, we are going to do neurographic art today. I'm going to do it as a background, but I want to go over all kinds of stuff that you can do with it and how you can do it. So I've got some examples here and we'll see where it takes us. I needed something to relax this week. It wasn't a good week, and that's what I found to do. Neurographic art. I didn't have the patience to make a mandala. That is my go-to to relax, but I went for this kind of art. No overthinking, just creating, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I've done some small examples, and there is a science behind neurographic art. I'm not going to go into it. I just going to say that for me it's relaxing. Maybe for someone else it won't be. And there are all kinds of ways to go about it. This is just my way, and most of the time I don't stick to any rules because I've already seen some videos on YouTube that says do's and don'ts, and I don't I don't react well to people telling me to don't do something in art, so I disregarded it. So this is just my way to go about it. So in terms of experimenting, examples, whatever you want to call it, that's the things I've done. I've done a little bit more simple, a little bit more elaborate, and just so you will see how versatile it can be. This one was made with black permanent marker and just regular felt pens or markers, whatever you call them. This one, again, with the gold is with the acrylic marker. The black is permanent marker, and I colored with plain Crayola crayons. So no need for anything fancy. This one I just took all kinds of markers that I had and made a little bit of doodling inside the shapes, and here and in several places I just wanted to make it a more 3D, so I made some shadows and I just used a 10B pencil for that. So really simple. This one was done on already made painty paper like this one. These we are made with just watercolors, and you sprinkle coarse salt on top of them, let it dry, and that's what you get. When it's completely dry, you just take off all the salt, and that's what you get. So I've done the same thing on top of it. So this was already colored, and on top of it I've done this. This one I colored inside with watercolors, and it can be left as is, and I can still doodle inside and do all kind of stuff, and I can make more shadow so it won't look flat. All kinds of ways to go about it. Now it can be a card, it can be a background, it can be whatever you want. You can do on smaller surface, ATCs, whatever floats your boat. I'm already thinking of using this one in this journal. I'm thinking of putting it here and quite simply making it my focal point. What I'm planning to do is continue the lines that I have here, and then going with colors that, like if I have here warm colors, then on the outside I'm thinking doing some blues. I don't know yet how it will come out. That's what I was thinking about doing. I'm not going to do this today. We are going to do something else. So these are the examples. There is another one that I just had fun on this page. This in the background is just a smooshed acrylic paint, and I just had fun doing this on top of it. So here is another example for what you can do with it. And okay, so let's see what's going on in the chat. And I want to do a page. I want to do a page with this neurographic art here, and it's going to be just the background and not the focal point. Hi, Teresa. Okay, Lynn. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Vanessa. Okay, so hello to everyone who came in. And okay, so if you just came in, again, neurographic art, it mostly look like this, and I'm just going about it my way. No rules. I know that I want my focal point to be here, and most of it is just free lines, free wavy lines most of the time, and with some circles in between. And because I know it's going to be my background, what I want to do, I'm going to do the circles first. I'm taking a pencil. I'm thinking of that my focal point will be here. So I'm starting with this. So that's my first circle. And for more interest, I'm going to put more circles on the page. Let's do one here, another one here, and maybe some sticking out of the edges, not a complete circle, just so it would be more interesting. And maybe here one. We'll see. It's not completely planned. That's the beauty of it. only because I know that I want a focal point. I've made the circle, this bigger circle here. Otherwise, it's really not thinking about what is going on. That's why it's relaxing. And you let your hand guide you with whatever line it creates. I hope I'm making sense. So just doing any kind of line, and you can do as many as you want or as little as you want. It's completely up to you and what speaks to you. Now I'm going to do all the lines in black permanent marker. I usually use for this black permanent marker because sometimes I change my mind about what is going on the page, so I want to have permanent on it in case I'm using things that are activated with water. Today it would be, because I don't remember who asked, but someone asked me to do a demonstration how to use inktense pencils, which are these. These are like watercolor pencils, although these are based on ink, as the name inktense, and once they are dry they are again permanent because it's ink based. So I'm going to use this today, but as I showed you in this experiments, you can color with whatever you want. If it's simple crayons, if it's simple felt pens, or just by doodling or zentangle or whatever it's called. So I've got my lines and nothing is intersecting with these two circles, so I'm thinking of doing one more line just so I will have more interest. Here we go. So now I'm taking a permanent black marker, and basic thing of this art is, as I said, first of all, the free lines. Wherever your hand takes you, that's the basic of it. Then it's doing the lines, and wherever you've got lines intersecting, you are going to round the corners. If I have an intersecting lines like here between this one and this one of the circle, I'm just going to make like this and round the corners. Now at first it doesn't look like much, but as you go along it will start to make sense and to look better. So basically it's just going over all the lines and rounding the corners, the what's it called, now you can do the lines as thick as you want or as thin as you want. It's up to you. Sometimes I've done it more thicker, sometimes thinner. I like also where I have, let's say this is a ridge, because I don't have any other word to describe it. I like the ridges to be thicker like this. So each time I will have a ridge, and it doesn't matter which line and what direction I will add like this. So now what's going to happen is that I'm going to color inside with black. Now I'm not very precise in going over the pencil line. It doesn't matter, I can just erase later on all the pencil lines. And here you see that's one of the ridges. I'm just thickened it. You don't have to. It's just my way to go about it. There are all kinds of other videos on YouTube about this neurographic art, so you can check them out for yourself and see if something is more appealing to you. My hand isn't quite steady right now. But it seems okay. So you can do this first, the wavy lines and the ridges, and afterwards the circles, and then the rounding of all the intersecting corners. It's up to you how you like to work. I'm just doing it as I go along. And just make it easy on yourself and move it around if you need to. And you don't have to do everything like this. Like if I don't want the intersecting circle here with the ridge to do round corners, I don't have to. It's really up to you. And another thing, the rounding of the corners, it can be very subtle or it can be very, again, thick. Start with small and go bigger if you think it's needed. Here we go. And now I've got here another ridge, so I'm making it thicker and coloring on the inside. Okay. And it can be done with thick markers if that's what you want. It doesn't have to be a fine line. Again, just play and find what speaks to you. I would even suggest that if wavy lines is not what you like, do something else. I don't know if you've done it when you were kids, but I remember when we used to do something. I don't know what to call it, but we would make all kinds of scribbly lines and then color on the inside. It's basically the same thing. And you can decide what you color and where it goes. So it doesn't have to be this. The purpose is to relax and really let your hand guide where it goes. You don't want the circles? Don't do the circles. I think I have one here that I didn't do circles here. This one is without circles. You can take it anywhere. It's just up to your imagination. And it really helped me this week. I had so many plans for videos to do, and I haven't felt like anything. It was like, what is the point? I was really stressed and not in a good mood. And well, here we go. I found this to do, and it got me out of my funk. So as you can see, I'm just doing the same again and again. Here I'm getting inside more and doing a bigger, a larger, let's say, rounding of this intersection. Sometimes I go small, sometimes I go wide. Really, whatever I feel at that particular moment. The lines are not as smooth as I would like them to be, but that's fine. I'm just checking what is going on in the chat. Hi, Lorena. From Peru. Whew. Okay. Just goes to show that simplest of thing in art can just, well, save you. I don't know what to call it. Doesn't have to be a masterpiece. Just to pick myself up and do something. It doesn't have to be, I don't know what to call it, with deep meaning, just to create. I'm just going over all the lines with this. If you are sure about what you are doing, or if you are just again playing like I've done with the other things, then you can even skip the pencil stage. Just make something with the marker and go from there. Okay. I hope I'm not giving you a headache moving the page each time. It just helps. Rounding stuff. Now the corners, if you feel it's a little bit difficult in some of the angles that you've got, you can always switch to a permanent marker with a smaller tip and then do the corners, the rounding of the corners. The permanent marker that I use is something from the cheap store, and it's supposed to be for writing on CDs. Who writes and who does still use CDs, I don't know, but I don't care. It's a great marker and it's cheap, so, and it's double-headed, so it's great in that aspect. Just going and rounding the corners, all the intersections between lines. I hope you can see what I'm doing. And it's quite quickly taking shape. I don't know if you can see it, but it does. It's very, very simple, and I don't know, it reminds me of the fluid lines of Art Nouveau, which I love. And sometimes when I'm not looking, that's what happened in the other stuff that I've done. I would think I'm done, and then I would find another intersection that I like missed. So sometimes it really doesn't matter. If you missed it, it probably wasn't that important. But I do try to go in some certain I don't know, in certain way. This time it's from up to down, so I won't miss anything. And remembering to do all the ridges, thicken them. Again, this is just me how I like it. And this I'm doing on purpose because I like when elements are going outside the edges, like these two, these three circles. I think it looks more organic that way, but that's just me. I just thought about what will happen if I'll try to do something like this, like inside of a big circle, like a mandala, but inside doing this neurographic art. Should be interesting. Probably would be my next experiment. In terms of coloring, again, it's really up to you. Use whatever you feel like it, what will be easier for you, what would be more accessible for you. If you feel that you have small areas that you just, I don't know, it would be difficult for you to do, I don't know, watercolors, then don't do watercolors. Do something that will be easier for you. There are no rules to it. It can be even black and white, just black and white, and with doodling. It doesn't even have to be colorful. Okay, almost. I love the intersections between the circle and the wavy line. Okay. Did I miss something? I don't know. Some ridges. Okay, another one. Sorry. You're probably getting dizzy from me flipping the page. Okay, and okay, I think, let's see, I can do this one a little bit thicker here. And also here. And I think I'm leaving it as is. So I'm just going to go over where I still have pencil lines. And now we can move on to the coloring. Now I'm thinking that the large circle, which is going to be the backdrop for my focal point, I'm thinking of doing it in gold. And for that, I'm just going to use I've got an acrylic marker of gold, and I've got this gel pen gold. Neither of them with brand. This one from the cheap store. This one I don't know where. Maybe AliExpress. I don't know. So I'm just doing first this. I'm leaving the smaller areas to do with the gel pen because this is quite thick. All the rest I'm going to color, as I said in the beginning, with the inktense pencils. Let's see what I've missed in the chat. Hi, Ranjani. Okay. It's quite early in Australia. Don't know what you're doing up at this hour. And it's quite late here. I don't know what I'm doing here at this hour. Little details, as I said, I'm just going to do with the gel pen. It would be easier. I'm doing the whole circle in gold. And just this circle. The other circles I'm thinking of coloring also with the inktense pencils. Maybe I'll change my mind as I go. I don't know. Right now I just know that my circle, this big circle, is going to be gold, and all the other stuff is going to be with inktense. I was thinking all kinds of blue colors. Not sure yet. In about a minute, I can change my mind again and go with warm colors. I really don't know. Okay. Little details. Now it's a little bit wet, so I'm trying to do it without wasting paint on my hand. Another thing that's good with using the permanent marker is that if I went over some of the black, yeah, here I've done it again. I've got gold on my hand, wasting paint, as I said. So what I started to say, what is another thing that is good with using a permanent marker is that if I made a little bit of mistake and went over one of the black lines, I can always go back afterwards with the same black marker and fix it. Okay. Almost done, and then we can play with colors. Okay. Fixing black areas I will do when I'm finished. Don't want to each time grab the black marker. I'll just wait for finishing the coloring, and then I will deal with fixing wherever it's needed. Okay, so I've got the gold here. Okay, so now I need to decide if I'm going for warm colors or cold colors. Hi, Juanita. Hi, Betty. Okay. Here it is. Okay, so these are my inktense pencils, and this is expensive. This is the most expensive stuff I have. But it was worth it. From time to time, I am allowing myself, if there is something that is really good, I allow myself to to spend on it. Okay. Wow, I needed it. So, what do you say? I'm taking a poll. Warm colors, all kinds of oranges, yellow, and maybe even some browns, or cold colors like blues and purple. I'm waiting for you to decide. Whatever you say, I'm doing. Or everything. All the colors, all the rainbow. Okay, so far I've got 2 for cool colors. Maybe the circles with warm colors and all the others with cold colors. Okay. I think the circles will be the warm colors and all the other stuff will be the cool colors. So let's start with the circles. And I don't know why, but this color is just calling to me. This one is Baked Earth. Okay, so again, I'm not an expert on inktense pencils. I've watched all kinds of videos when I first purchased it. What I'm doing is how I like to do it. So, and I'm very firm advocate for do what feels right to you, not what someone is telling you to do on a video. So, I like to work with two colors each time I'm coloring an area, because then you get a more interesting look, a more less flat look. So I will go with a darker shade of something. There are all kinds of way to do it. And let's see. I want to show you. There's all kinds of way to go about coloring whatever shape you have. It really doesn't matter. Whatever shape you have. One way is, if I want this to be my major color, I will take something that is darker, a darker brown. I will put it where I want it to be. And then I will take the color, the main color of what I want to have inside the shape. Also intersect in between them. It will help with the blending. And sometimes I even leave a little bit of white space at the end of the shape. It doesn't matter if the shape is circle, if the shape is a rectangle, it really doesn't matter. So what I'm doing now is I will take a brush with water, and I start most of the time with the lighter side of whatever I'm doing. So I will start here where it's white and start picking, moving towards the other side. And depending on the quality of the paper, sometimes the water will just absorb immediately and sometimes they won't. Now, a lot of the videos say do not go back and forth, but it works for me, so that's what I'm doing. When I'm reaching the end where I have the most dark color, I will just move again until my brush is no longer have water in it, and then it's the look is more blended. So another way to go about it, again, if this is the color, the main color that I want, I can do most of the shape with this, and I'm not really particular about the strokes or how I'm coloring. Of course, it's better if it's even. Right now, for the sake of the demonstration, it doesn't matter. Now, another way to go about it is to take yellow, whatever yellow, light yellow you have, and it doesn't what color you decided for your main color. And again, I'm leaving a little bit of white. Why yellow? Because whenever you use yellow and you do this, and it really doesn't matter which color you're putting with the yellow, you will get an effect of a stained glass because it gives light. So, and it doesn't even matter if you are blending this kind of stuff or if you are blending acrylics. I can take acrylic paint, and if I'm doing the same thing and blending in between colors inside of a shape, then the yellow will create an effect of stained glass. So that's another way to go about it. And sometimes, so I've got this brown, I will take something similar from the group. I can take an orange and do the same stuff. I can take a red. It's real, and I can go about it completely different. Like, let's do another example. Colors change the perspective, or the how you see the color. It depends of what next to it. Colors have a tendency to affect colors near them. That's the best explanation I can give you. I'm taking a blue here. Yeah, I know. I just want to show you how it looks. Let's do, just so you can see. And again, taking a brush with water, starting here where the white is. Now, when it's dry, if you feel it's not vibrant enough, then when it's dry, you can just add another layer. So that's just me doing it with a dark orange. And now, when I'm doing it with an opposite color, I will start with my main color. That's my main color that I've picked for this shape. And only when I'm finished with it, then I will go for the other color and blend it like so. So you see all kinds of ways to go about it. It's just playing and having fun and experimenting. I like this effect for all kinds of projects. I like this effect for all other kind of projects, and just whatever feels right to you. There are no rules. I know that in a lot of places, if you will go to learn, they will start with all the theories about the color wheel. Color wheel is nice, but at the end of the day, you need to do what feels right to you. Hi, Phyllis. Okay, so that was just me explaining about colors. So let's see, I'm thinking I will start with this one with this color. Now again, this is in terms of how to apply the inktense pencils. That's how I like to do it. I like to put them directly on the paper. There are some that like to put it like on a surface. It needs to be a non-porous surface, but that is not completely smooth, and then to activate it on that surface. I don't like to work like that. I like to put it directly on my page and then activate it with water. Now, the more, if I will push on the pencil, then it would be darker. I go not in between. I'm not doing it very strong, but I'm not doing it lightly. Just so I will have a nice spread. And again, if it will feel that it's not enough, then I will just come in again and add some more. So I'm picking this orangey yellow and putting it here. I don't care that I have a line intersecting. For me, this is a whole circle, like I treated this one. And I'm leaving a little bit at the top without any pencil. So now I'm taking the brush and I'm going to start with this area that has nothing, and now I'm reaching into the yellow. And I'm just going about it. Now I don't have enough water, so I'm just dipping my brush again into the water and I'm continuing. And sometimes, even though you activated it with enough water, you will still have some marks of the pencil underneath, but that's just part of the whole thing. I like it. It gives texture to wherever you're working, and it doesn't look flat. Here we go. So that's one way to go about it. And doing this part of the circle. Here I'm not putting two colors because I don't have enough space and it really doesn't matter. Now you can always decide to do even all kinds of mediums. Like here I used acrylic marker. Here I'm using the pencils. As I've shown you in the last live when I've done the mandala, you can switch and do whatever you want. You can switch to felt pens if that's what you like. Okay, so what colors do I want here? I usually don't go for red, but let's do red with the darker yellow. There are also I've seen people use these inktense pencils to make splatter. Again, another another technique that I don't like, so I don't do it. Basically, you just take the brush directly to the point of the pencil, and then you just use the pencil and to make the not the pencil, the paintbrush, to create splatter just by flipping it on top of the page. I don't like to have the tip of the pencil directly in water. I've seen many people do all kinds of beautiful drawings where they are basically working wet on wet. They wet the page and they do the drawings with this kind of pencils directly on the water, and very beautiful drawings. It's just not how I like to work, so that's that. Okay, let's take another brown. And let's mix it with this, I don't know, ochre, mustard. What's this? No, not this one. Mustard. I'm doing it quite lightly. This time I don't want this to overwhelm my page. I'm trying to use the colors in the same tone. I don't want one to be a lot darker than the others, because if I will pick a color that is a lot more darker than the others, then it will take center stage, and that's not what I'm going for. I can already see that I didn't put enough of the brown that I've picked. So I will wait for it to dry and go again. Okay. This one, what is 10? It's called 10. Whatever. Now you can also mix between colors. Like if I want turquoise and I don't have turquoise in this set, then I will just grab the green and the blue that I like and just mix between the two. I will show it in a minute, just so you will see that you can also create other stuff, other colors other than what you have in the set. It's also it's the same thing with other watercolor pencils, not just with Inktense. If you don't have a color in the set, you can just mix in between two colors and create whatever you want. Let's pick this one. No, this one. Here we go. Picked some blue. I'm doing it quite quickly. It really doesn't matter. Now, when I'm blending colors, I like, if I can, depending on the shape, go across. Like if the blue went this way, then I will go with the green this way. I feel that when I'm doing it like this, the blending is better in between colors. Okay. Here we go. Completely another color that I didn't have in the set. Okay. So you can also blend colors. So now we're starting to do all the other colors. And where did I put this? Yes, this is the green, this is the blue. And I'm going just to have fun with it and also probably mix some purple into all of it. I'm starting and putting some dark purple here, just so it will give a darker hue in the bottom. And then I'm picking just another blue. I don't really care even what blue it is, just putting it down. Now, when I do a mandala and I'm coloring with inktense pencils, because most of the time a mandala is repetitive, you decide that a certain shape will be in this color, so that's what you do all the way. So in a mandala, I will just go and color the same shape with the color, and then I will activate all of them. Here, where I don't know which color is going where, I will only do one piece at a time. I will do the color, and then I will activate, and then I will move to the next shape. Now, after coloring, you can leave it as is, or you can doodle and do all kinds of stuff. If it's on the black lines or if it's inside the shapes, up to you. Here, I went over the black lines with dots of white. You don't quite see the white, but it's here. And in others, you can just go in and doodle inside. You can do all kinds of marks inside each shape, like, where it is, where is it? Doodle whatever you want in each section. You can leave some with, some, really up to you and how you want to play with it. Okay. Like right now, I'm not sure I'm going to do the whole page. Maybe I will leave some parts just with the color of the page. Not sure about it yet. Okay. I'm just picking random shapes. I'm not going one by one. Here I really don't have any explanation to my process. It's like I can't explain why a line is that way exactly. That's the same way with the coloring. I just feel where I want to put something, and that's it. Changing to a new blue, so I've got two colors here of blue. Okay, and now to activate it. Oops. I just had to go inside the wet paint and make a mess. Here we go. I'll see what I can do later on. Right now, it really doesn't bother me. Let's see. I'm taking another purple and let's see. Let's go here. Overlapping between the colors, especially when it's not from the same, I don't know, family. They are both called colors, but this is purple, this is blue, so I like to overlap in between, and then I get a more blended look. I think I will go and put a little bit more of the purple here because it's a large shape on my page, so I want variation in the color. And of course overlapping between the purple and the blue. Okay, water, and let's start like this so my hand won't get into the water. When I get to the purple, I'm going back and forth, and then it blends into the blue better. Although I did the overlapping in between, by going back and forth, I'm allowing, I don't know what to call it, both colors to contaminate each other and create something in between. Now, I've seen all kinds of videos about watercolors and watercolor pencils and inkten pencils, and in most of them they say don't go back and forth. I don't know why. For me, it works. That's what I'm doing. That's what works for me. So I like it. As I said, it works for me, and that's all that matters. Here we go. Okay. Let's pick another blue and I'm just going for variation. This is not planned like here I need to have this blue and here I need to have another blue. It's really not on my mind. I don't care. Just putting something in. when you're putting it on the page like this, you hardly can see the difference in the color. Only when you're activating it, you can see the difference. Okay. Water. Maybe we'll take a larger brush so I won't be here all day. Now I'm not working on watercolor paper. It's a quite thick paper, so it's good enough, but this is not watercolor paper. If you can do it on watercolor paper, it's better. But if it's a thick paper, I think this is a 240 grams. Where does it? No, maybe 180, I don't know. But it's thick enough to work with a wet mediums. Okay. Let's see what's going on in the chat. I think I missed something here in the chat. Let's see. Um, this I did, yes, Melissa. I did it. I just thought it would be easier to see the colors than like this. I do it mostly with things like watercolors. It's easier to swatch them in the beginning and see how they react with water and what the actual color is. Because if I'm looking here and all these are different blue and next there are some purples, if you look at the tip, you can't really know what the color is. If you don't see the color on the blocks, just make a swatch. Even if it's not on the blocks or the watercolors or whatever you have. Let me show you. I've bought this watercolor set. I think it was on Amazon, and there is no brand or nothing. I just made these swatches. So now I know which color is which. I just made it this one and this one. And I can even, if I really wanted, I could put a little sellotape here and or here, so it would be in place. But you you just swatch it, and that's it, and you're good to go. You don't even need to know the name of the color, because each brand has its own thing, and most of the time it doesn't even correspond with what it's called. I'm just reading the chat. Okay, I hope I haven't missed anything. Okay, let's see. Here I think I'm just going to do this light blue, and I'm going to leave this part white and then activate it. So the blending will be towards the white. Of the page, like this. Again, I'm just playing. You do you. I'm thinking of doing the same thing in another place. Let's see. Once again, blended into, fading and blending into the white. I'm just playing now. I'm really not overthinking where each color is going. Especially when I'm blending it into the white, then I will start with the white, and it's important to go over the white with the white brush. Otherwise, it doesn't blend. I really like this color, so maybe I'll do it here. Okay. One more. Yeah. Really, really liking it. Mm, I'm neglecting you. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking maybe a little bit of gray. Hmm. What's the worst that could happen? Maybe I will put the gray and add a little bit of blue so it will still be in the same group, family, whatever. You know what I mean. What? Brenda, yes, you can recommend. I don't mind. I can just tell you that I, how can I say it? I don't watch this day. I don't watch a lot of videos. My attention span is really horrible these days, and in terms of swatching, I just do what I do, like any other stuff. You've been following me, so most of you know I don't really uh, put a lot of importance about fussy cutting and straight lines and all kinds of rules. So it's the same with all kinds of other stuff. Like I don't always swatch stuff, and if I do, I'm just doing what feels easier at that particular moment. It's not that there are far better people that are experts at watercolors or experts with inktense, experts with whatever. I'm just doing my thing, and only by doing things like you've seen in the beginning, like this, I can tell you that, okay, so I like these lines better than these lines, and I like when I have some circles, and I don't like when I don't have circles, and I really like when there is shading like here. It's by doing stuff that I find what I like and what I don't like, and not by someone telling me how to do stuff. I don't like rules. I'm just stubborn like that. What can I say? Mm, I'm thinking of leaving this and this not colored. Maybe I'll just take a pencil and do some shadows, some smearing of graphite. Okay. Mm. Oh, it's not that don't get me wrong. I don't think that I know everything. I'm the first one to say that I don't know stuff. It's just that after being through a university and people telling me what to do and putting all kinds of rules, that I really felt that they demolished for a lot of years my creativity. I stopped listening to other people, or I am listening and then I pick what is good for me. Because I did watch in the past all kinds of videos. Of course, when I first bought the inktense, I've watched a few videos, and by using them, I found out what's working for me and what's not, no matter what other that are experts said in the videos. And I'm still saying I'm not an expert. I'm just doing my thing. That's all. And each one needs to do what feels right to them, because even small things like I wanted to do the circles first here, someone else wouldn't like it and would like to do them later on. Each one needs to find his own path to do stuff. I hope I'm explaining myself. I'm in this late hour, I'm amazed that I can put words together. I went to the university with so much hope, and I was so amazed that I got to that, don't know how you call it in English, that particular subject, because very few people get to. We have there are different and special exams to get into the designing for theater program that is only for that. It doesn't matter your grades in high school, it doesn't matter anything, no test, regular test or what will get you in. We had a full day of tests of all kinds of drawings and creativity, and that's what they do to get you in, to see if you are can get into that program in the university. And I was so amazed and so excited to get in. Out of 150, they take each year only 20. But then I started and I swear to God, it's like they tried to banish any creativity that we had. That's how I felt. Somehow I finished, said goodbye, thank you very much, and I didn't do anything creative, not even for myself, for a lot of years after. I'm checking the chat. Okay, so I'm thinking that I've got here purple and here purple, and they are just like neon here and out of place, because that's the only two places I've got them. So I'm thinking that I need to add them somehow. Again, just not to overwhelm the page. Should have used them before with one of the blue. Never mind. I'll put some here and maybe a hint of the lighter one here, just so it won't be the only place. Good enough. Again, starting with the white. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Just letting it blend. Okay. Okay, not bad. So now for this and this, I'm just going to use, this is a 10B pencil, and just going to darken mostly the edges. Most of the time it can be blended just with smearing it with your finger. I'm going to use this, if I remember or don't remember. You told me many times, stump, I think it's called. Okay. Just again blending into the white until I don't have any more. Yeah, same thing I'm going to do here. What can I say? Just easier that way, each time flipping the page. And some areas are still wet. So I'm trying not to put my hand there. I can also add this kind of shadow to an area that is with another color. This time I won't do this because I really like what I've done with the inktense, but let's show you where is the other example. Maybe underneath here. Nope. Where is the green one? Okay, let's see, like this one. Each area that I colored is mostly a solid color. So if I want to make it more interesting, I can take again just this 10B pencil and again do the same thing. Just blending it and it will look more interesting just by doing that. I hope you can see the difference. Okay, so that's partly the page. I want to do the focal point before I'm doing anything else because I'm still thinking of adding details to at least some of the areas. And when I thought about making this page, I wasn't sure what I was going to use. First of all, I wanted to use this stencil with this moth, but this one is too big for this page. Even if the one of the wings is going out of the borders, the edge, it's too big, and this is too small. So then I thought about maybe using this bee, although I'm also thinking it's just a little bit too big. I want something that will stick out of the circle, but not too much. And another thing that I thought of using is this kingfisher bird. And I'm letting you decide. I'm really thinking of doing this kingfisher bird, but I'm waiting for you to tell me what do you want me to do. Now it's all on you. I'm going to stencil with black, and I need a sponge. So it's the kingfisher bird or the bee. Just cutting the dry paint from the makeup sponge so I can use it again. Okay, let's see. Anything can inspire me. Once I folded laundry, I had 3 shirts, one on top of each other, and the 3 colors just spoke to me, and I did an art journal page just by starting with these 3 colors. So anything goes. Let's see. B, Kingfisher. Okay, I'm going with the Kingfisher bird and just taking black, dabbing the excess. Let's hope it will work because I've got all the black lines here. So cross your fingers. And I'm going very lightly because I wanted to, I don't want any spillage underneath the stencil. Most of the time I don't care. Now I want it to be fine, what to call it. It's not a print, I don't know. But of course, because it's black, I can always do some fixing again with a black marker. And I will probably need some kind of outline to distinguish the Kingfisher bird from all the other stuff that is going on here. As I said, it's already on something with black lines, so I will probably need some contour line to make it more distinct on the background. Yeah, as I thought, I will need something to make it more visible. Okay, I will let it, no, I think I can do it. I don't have patience for it to dry. I think what I'm going to do is first I'm going to connect parts of the stencil. Like now that I have the image, I don't need, I can connect some of the shapes that create this image. Okay. That's better, and it's sitting on some kind of branch. I'm going to continue it to here. Bear with me. Okay, let's see. I can't use gold because my background is gold, so I'll probably try the white to make it more visible. So it's starting to make more sense. I should have probably stenciled the kingfisher bird on some other page, like white page, fussy cut it and then glued it here instead of stenciling on top of this black and gold, but it's okay. I'm managing to save it, I think. I have another one that is larger. No, not this one. No, that's too large. Maybe this. No. Where did I put it? I've got so many white markers that I can't find the one that I want. For God's sakes, never mind. Now, I could have picked any other gel pen. It doesn't have to be white. I just went with this one. I could also used any acrylic marker in whatever color that I wanted. I got tired. Need a piece of paper. Okay, I'm leaving it be for now. And what I want to do is add the same details I've done here, just some white dots on the black um, lines. I really liked the outcome, so that's what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be dots. It can be lines, it can be wavy lines, whatever you like. I really just liked this outcome. You can also do, if you want, a more condensed areas of white dots opposed to other areas that won't be as condensed. It's really up to you, and just play and have fun with it. Same thing with lines. They can be really you can play with the thickness of each line, and you can play with the space in between the lines. I'm just spreading the dots randomly. I think it's more interesting than just the black as it is. And maybe I will just do this line with the dots. Also an option. Again, there are no rules here. Okay, almost. I'm really, really liking it. What some dots can do to something, I really like it. Okay, well, let's see, what did I miss? Bye, Melissa. Mhm. Bye. Bye to everyone who's leaving. Yeah, you're right. It looks a little bit skeletonish. Without trying. I don't know. As I said, right now I'm leaving it be and I'm thinking if I'm going to do something. I don't know. I'm thinking of doing on this wavy line. Here I went with dots. I'm thinking of going with some kind um, of lines, but I'm not sure about it yet. And what can I say? I'm a little bit tired. So I'm thinking that I will leave it be right now and finish it in another time. And that would be it for today. Just, yeah, I'm going to leave it be. If you have questions for me and or anything to say, I'm right here. I'm still here. Wow. I still have to do this, that I want to make a focal point and then play with the lines. We'll see how this will go. Yes, I can add color to the bird, but because I'm not sure how I want to go about it, that's why I'm leaving it be right now. Because I'm thinking that one color will not do the trick. It will still look a skeleton. So that means I need to bring out some maybe gel pens. I've got some gel pens in all kinds of colors. I've got some acrylic markers. I'm thinking about it. I'm more thinking what color do I want, and then I'm thinking whatever I have in that color that I will decide what to use. Because I'm really not picky about the medium that I use. A lot of time what dictates what I'm using is the shade for something that I want. I'm just putting some of the things in place, and I've got some dark green that is a little bit metallic and some blue metallic, and I'm thinking maybe I can mix something that would look a little bit more like the colors that you can find on a kingfisher bird. Let's try it. I'm still here. The light green is a little bit more pearlescent and metallic, but that's okay. I'm gonna try something and we'll see what happens. Again, if it doesn't work, there is always another layer that I can do. Let's see. I'm changing between the colors. I'm really not sure about it. I'm just playing. I'm going over some of the black with this metallic paint. Really not sure about it. Again, if it doesn't work, I can always go over it completely. I can do the kingfisher on a different page, fussy cut it, and then edit. So there is always something that can be done. And I'm not covering it completely because the black that is showing through is still giving me details. I'm just checking the chat. Yeah, Brenda, I probably would. I'll probably do the kingfisher bird on another page, but because I've got the colors right here, I'm just going with it. At least it will give me an indication of what I like in terms of the color and what I don't like. We'll see. Okay, so that's it for me today. That's it. My battery just so low that I can't function. So that was that. I still need to fix this. I still need to fix the kingfisher bird and maybe do some more detailing for the other black lines. We'll see. I'll show it finished in my next video. That would probably be on Monday. So thank you everyone for coming in, and thank you for participating in this. So I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.